Good morning, everyone. Happy to talk about the company Scout24. For those that don't know who we are, if I just go to the next slide, which is not working.
The green one.
Yep, I got it. There we go. For those that don't know the business, we cover 7 countries in Europe. You can read the metrics behind there. Certainly number 1 in Immobilien in Germany. We also run Immobilien in Austria, and we're the number 1 pan-European automotive site as well, with our key businesses being in Germany, Italy, Belgium, and the Netherlands. You can talk about a reach of 80 million households, an extensive business by any normal measure. Talk quickly about what the purpose of the company is. It's impossible for us to believe that cars and houses will be bought the same way that they are today in 5 and 10 years' time. We use the example inside the company. You can book an overseas holiday without moving from your chair. You can transfer your financial assets around the world, again, from not moving from your chair. It's impossible for us to believe the buying and selling of houses won't become digitized over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, when we talk about the digitization process, we talk about finding the house or car, reviewing the house or car, inspecting it, agreeing to buy it, financing, insuring it, and then connecting services associated with the vehicle. Now, when you add, and we just use Germany alone, but you could effectively double the automotive number on that slide for the balance of the network. But if you add up the value chain for the movement of property and cars in Germany alone, it's about 800 billion euros per annum. And that represents about 25% of the German GDP. Now, if you add up the countries that we operate in, they're about the same population size as Germany, so you can add another 270 billion to that number. Now, what's unique about Scout is that we're the only company that sits at the demand side of 25% of the German GDP. So we see user intent before anybody else does. Now, clearly, those sorts of numbers are not our addressable market. Our addressable market is 2 to 3%, we think, of those numbers, which brings us to about a 15 billion euro market opportunity across those 7 geographies. Now, so our purpose, so we're a purpose-driven company. We have a strategy that supports the purpose, but employees don't come to work for a strategy. They don't come to work for a budget. They don't really come to work for money. They come to work to actually have meaning, that their work is doing a meaningful job. And the reason why we get excited about working at Scout is a human being's life comes down to 6 major events, of which buying a house and buying a car is 2 of those. So for us, our job is to allow people to deliver on that purpose, which is the fulfilling their dreams of buying a house and a car in the most efficient and effective way that they can. So, now, some of the things that we've already introduced and will be introducing by the end of this quarter, this year in Auto Scout is certainly AR and VR. That's a big feature of our focus going forward. Today, inside Immobilien Scout, on a moving average basis, about 2,500 homes have the ability to have you to walk through the house. You don't need that equipment, but if you have the Oculus equipment or the cardboard goggles, you can also use the 3D, but you don't need 3D as well to have the ability to have greater inspection capabilities. That's obviously available progressively across all the domains of the web. In both, as I said, it's in Immobilien Scout now, and it will be available in Auto Scout in Germany by the end of this calendar year. Some of the things that's a very big focus inside the company is our use of data. These are 2 examples. Probably the one on the right is the one that's most interesting. So we have a team of data scientists that work with our product managers. The property on the right, most people who are familiar with the German market or live in Germany would know it's a structural boom going on in German real estate right now. So you as a prospective buyer of a property are facing a lot of competition. Now, the product on the right was developed by looking at users' attributes and then recommending to them a house that under normal search criteria and normal search behavior, they would actually not have looked at. Now, the results of this, so this is a live product inside the site today. So when we went through the alpha and beta launch processes of this product, now we're very confident that this product now gives a 5x increase in lead volume against the prospective users' inquiry. So we looked at users and what they normally look at for that demographic. We recommended something that under normal circumstances they would not look at, and it gives us a 5x improvement on that recommended approach. The product on the right is something that if you're a real estate agent in Germany, the thing that you're really short of in this market is not the inquiry to sell a property, it's people wanting to list a new property. And again, we use our data systems to be able to provide prospective sellers information about what their property is worth, and then able to recommend to them agents that might suit their requirements in the area. In terms of automotive, again, using our data science capabilities, over the last 6 months, the product people and the data scientists have processed over 10 million vehicles in the European market, to the point now that we think in Germany that we have the most accurate valuation indicator of the value of a car. And this is live inside Auto Scout in Germany now. Now, this is not just a valuation of the car, it's a valuation of the car against the market price. So inside the site, we'll tell you whether this is a good price, which means it's on market, or it's a great price, which means it's actually below market price. And by definition, if nothing's said, it's actually above market price. So this is something that we are progressively rolling out across the Scout network. We think this is a German first. We were first to market with this, and as I said, we'll deploy that across. And it took, we process inventory now at on about a 10 million vehicle basis. To give you some indication about those bigger numbers before, again, from a Scout perspective, what makes the business unique, I think, is 2 key variables. Most of these businesses in our sector are either single country, single vertical, such as Rightmove in the United Kingdom. It's only in the United Kingdom and it only operates in real estate. Or I'm a single vertical, multiple country. So REA Group in Australia, for example, is only in real estate, but it runs multiple countries. What makes Scout unique is that we're multiple country, multiple vertical. The second thing that makes us unique is that and we declared this in our 2016 numbers, when you look at our group revenue, what we call our adjacencies revenue, so the money we make from recommending mortgages, insurance, relocation leads, credit checks, and so on, was 14% of group revenue. Now, in maths, that was 55 million euros. Now, we think from a global perspective, that's the largest amount of revenue as a percentage of total revenue inside that adjacency sector. So when we put those slides up, it's actually not PowerPoint-ware. There are actually real products, real businesses, real money being made behind real estate, automotive, and the Scout adjacencies business, or the Scout Media business as we call it. Now going forward, clearly there's a convergence happening. Originally our businesses were in the top left in the orange circle. We are a marketplace. The key features of a marketplace are you get listings so that you reflect the market. The users accept that you're the dominant position in the marketplace. That drives traffic. And then traffic drives money. That's the ingredients of the orange box. What's becoming increasingly important is the ability to provide communication services, which is sort of chat boxes, instant messaging. So for example, inside our apps today, we've deployed IM services so that users and customers can connect within the app feature. To put it in perspective, Scout alone in Germany has about 15 million app downloads. And if we just insert a communication facility inside that, it allows actually the users and the customers to interact more significantly. The other feature that we've done on the back of the hot German market is as a prospective buyer, we say to the buyer, the more complete you can present yourself to either the seller or the broker, if you're buying the house from a private perspective or through a professional agent, if you can make yourself look like, here's an application package which includes a credit check from either Avato or Schufa, references about your previous ability, to be a good tenant if it's a rental, and other information about yourself, that's actually called an application package. So that application package also provides information to the user, the customer, but also provides information for us around the demographics of that, and it's quite detailed information that we're able to obtain from the user with their agreement, which means over time we're able to track their movement through the normal human life cycles that people actually go through. And from a software perspective, we think we are in the CRM business today within the real estate business with a business called FlowFact. We don't have a typical definition of software, but things like being able to provide to a car dealer an ability to understand at a wholesale price, is actually this a good price? What is the market demand for this particular car? And if I buy this car at this price, what's my ability to sell that car within 25 days, 35 days, and so on? So those sorts of SaaS applications is probably the best way to describe our software business going forward. It's the ability to provide that sort of information to users and to customers to provide greater transparency of the market. Again, if you're a real estate agent and the market demand in your area is for apartments and you're listing freestanding houses, that's information that you would find very valuable to know the market is actually in the apartment area, not in the freestanding house area. So from our perspective, it's very clear that these businesses' future, you actually have to operate in those three sectors. You operate in those three sectors for the primary purpose of providing transparency and simplicity to the user and allowing maximum commercialization from your customer base. Thank you very much.